My husband and kids are telling me how to do that. Just sometimes a little humor
Get your
to
story
get you
out.
through.
So as you've all probably noticed, I have stage 4 cancer. And as the only performer tonight who currently has cancer, I believe that makes me the king of the cancer show. I've actually been in an on-again, off-again relationship with cancer for about 20 years now. But despite having practiced it since childhood, I'm still not very good at the whole cancer thing. I mean, it's taken me over 2 decades to get from stage 3 to stage 4. So, honestly, getting cancer again was one of the reasons I decided to start stand-up. I finally have a comedy niche, which, as a straight white girl millennial, is really hard to find these days. So I want to use it while I got it because either A, I go into remission and lose my cancer card, or B, I die and the most annoying person in the comedy community is going to use it for her one-woman fringe show, How My Friend's Cancer Impacted My Dating Life. So I've been joining a couple of cancer support groups. The support's very nice, but it's mostly because they make me feel super young. Which, as a straight white girl millennial, is really hard to feel these days. An interesting thing I've noticed about these groups is despite coping with a very serious illness, they still all find time to find the same drama as literally every other community. For example, there is this Instagram account that's pretty popular in the cancer scene, over 100,000 subscribers, which coincidentally is the same number of people who die of cancer every year. I'm kidding. It's 10 million people. So this Instagram only posts cancer memes. You know, like a picture of Margot Robbie stepping out of a pink Cadillac with the caption, "Me going to my chemo appointment." So the guy, comedy genius who runs this account was canceled recently for going to cancer conventions and soliciting nude photos from young girls with cancer. And now the whole community is like, well, can we separate the man from the memes? Or can we never again enjoy a picture of a Shiba Inu saying, "Much cancer, wow." My own first much cancer wow moment came in the form of a stage 3 melanoma at age 11. I know, whitest girl ever. When I was first confronted with the idea that I might die, I was reasonably cool about it. I thought I'd had a pretty good life for an 11-year-old. I was the first kid of 2 professional classical musicians who still seemed somewhat pleased with me. I was winning math competitions, music competitions. I'd spent a couple months living in Paris. I made friends easily. I was cute enough to be allowed in public in LA. And I was dating the hottest boy in the 5th grade. I swear he looked exactly like a blonde Ryder Strong. Not a bad legacy for a kid. I thought I could go out feeling pretty good about those 11 years. 20-something years later, staring death in the face again, I do not feel the same way at all. I have far from made the most of that time. Instead of becoming the memory of a perfect dead child forever preserved as a shrine in my family home, setting an impossible bar for my siblings to ever live up to, I became a depressed, underachieving adult. A living cautionary tale for the household. So you're welcome, siblings. My parents didn't really understand my depression during and post-treatment. Why was I sad I was surviving cancer? Did I know how many children don't survive cancer? And I didn't know. The children's hospital wouldn't let me count them. I just knew I didn't have the energy and willpower to win the competitions I was supposed to anymore. I didn't have the interest in socializing for most of junior high and high school. I couldn't go out in the sun, so I didn't look the way I thought I should. I was too young for goths to still be a thing. So I was just weirdly pale in Southern California for no good reason. When I was 14, I decided my rapidly diminishing self-worth meant the cancer was clearly meant to have taken my life, and finally got up the nerve to try and finish the job myself. My parents responded by sending me to a different type of hospital for a couple of months. "We need a break from you," they said. Now, I didn't think I was a particularly difficult teenager. I didn't drink, I didn't do drugs, I didn't sneak out and mess around with boys. I just laid around the house wanting to kill myself. So in retrospect, I kind of see their point. At the hospital, I learned I was the only girl there who had not been sexually assaulted. Still to this day, the weirdest not like other girls label I've ever received. A counselor there tried to helpfully include me by equating my cancer to rape. "It's losing control of your own body," she said. That's stupid, I thought, as I shoved my uneaten breakfast into a tiny cereal box and hid my body in a 4 sizes too large sweatshirt. But it wasn't just a trauma response. It turned out the immunotherapy drug that I'd been on was found to kill the brain's ability to produce endorphins. There was later a class action lawsuit from adults who'd been given the drug as treatment for hepatitis C. I was given it in much higher doses for much longer during adolescence. I basically spent a year of my life on a suicide drug, and not the kind of suicide drug you can buy on the dark web. At 16, I was declared officially in remission, cancer-free. I had no excuse for not succeeding anymore, but sometimes I still wouldn't. There would be moments, but I could never sustain it. There was one moment when I was 12 years old, right in the thick of treatment. I was in the middle of showering, and I suddenly felt like I was gonna pass out. I called for my mom, who rushed in and told her I was about to faint. "Okay, fine," she said, "just wash the conditioner out of your hair first. You can't lie down on your clean sheets with all that gunk on your head." I protested, but she was insistent, taking the shower head and trying to rapidly rinse out a quarter bottle of herbal essence. Then the room started spinning. I felt myself start to fall, and I heard my mom scream my dad's name, and then everything went black. And it was such a relief. This could end. This could be over. Everything could just go away. And for the rest of my life, during times where I just can't seem to do things right, or I can't function, or things seem hopeless, I miss it, that blackness. And I can't shake the feeling that that's where I belonged ever since I was 12 years old. So earlier this year, I found out I have melanoma again, this time on the inside of my body. And I don't know if you guys know this, but that's not usually how skin cancer works. Unless there's a couple malignant cells that have stayed hidden in your body for 20 years. Yeah, it turns out I've had cancer the entire time. So take that, Mom and Dad. An interesting thing about having cancer as an adult is finding out how much treatments have changed in the last couple decades. I'll give you guys one real quick example. So an MRI scan, that's the one where they shove you into a tunnel so you can listen to a live performance by very loud magnets. In the early 2000s, you used to just have to stare at the ceiling and not move for half an hour. But now, they put this little mirror over your head and angle it to reflect a 4K television on the wall, usually playing something soothing like slow TV of nature scenery. The technician told me I didn't have to watch the video if I didn't want to. It's there for you if you want to watch it, but if you want to close your eyes, that's fine. If you're watching it and you get bored and then halfway through the scan you want to close your eyes, that's fine too, just don't move your head. If you get bored of it, that's fine if you don't want to finish it. It's just there if you want it, but you're under no obligation to watch this video. Eventually I started thinking, did this guy make the video? Is he gonna be in it? But he wasn't in it. It was just normal nature stuff. So I'm watching these gorgeous, admittedly, drone shots soaring over snow-covered mountains, flying through endless golden fields at dawn, slowly following a beam of light from the forest floor up into the sky, and the entire time the machine is going, It felt like I was dying in a Terrence Malick movie. Other than medical advancements, I would say the biggest advantage of having cancer now as opposed to then is perspective. Worst case scenario, I was given an extra 20 years of life. And it may not have been the most impressive life, but I got to watch my siblings grow up and my parents. I've met some incredible people, had some surreal experiences, done some very good drugs. And tonight, I got to be king of the cancer show. I don't know when that blackness will finally come for good, but right now I'm okay with it. And when I do go, whenever that may be, I just hope it looks a little something like this.